Hi guys, it's me again, a long-awaited new Reason tutorial. All the times before I was only doing, all different miscellaneous stuff, and this time it's the core again. And this is the synth we want to create today. Well, I think this is kind of a bread and butter synth. Before we start, I would like to wish all of you a happy Easter, no matter which religion you belong to. So we directly start. Okay, come on. So the first thing we need to make is a little synth riff, and this is what I did. You can actually just pause here and copy these if you want to use this. Let's get directly to the synth. This time I won't create a new project but deactivate all effects, and then we'll add them slightly and explain what they do. Okay, you create a Combinator patch which we use for the synth, and then the next thing we are going to create in the Combinator patch simply is a line mixer 6.2. And afterwards we have here two different synthesizers, and we will only look at the first one for now. And you can already activate this one and put the level to 65. Okay, afterwards you will click here, right click, and create a Thor synthesizer, also initialized. And now let's listen to this only by one analog oscillator. Okay, what I did, simply create an analog oscillator, put the octave to 4, and detune it slightly to -15. It's a normal saw wave. Afterwards you create another analog synthesizer, also octave to 4 and detune to 14. So let's listen. As you can hear, already quite detuned. The next thing is we select a third one. Let's listen to it solo. This is a multi-oscillator. You select the random 1 mode and put the amount to 26. Also saw wave and octave to 4. So this sound is actually just to add a little texture to the sound and not to let it sound very, I don't know. Well, okay, so let's listen to all of them together. Oh wait, let me just quickly put a loop on it. Now. Okay, this is already quite good. But we need to spread the sound. We need to get a wider character of the sound, because this is the main synth, the lead. Last things to do here is check your amp envelope. You have to put the amount of the attack completely down, the release also completely down, and decay and sustain completely up. So that's actually all about the Thor synthesizer for the first instance here. And now it's getting a little more complicated. These three things, add some texture to it. What did I do? Okay, let's check. Hey, so many cables, I know. After the Thor synthesizer, you add a spider audio merger and splitter. You can find it here. And this is simply to get the typical Haas effect. Maybe you heard of it. And then you create two digital delay lines. Take care that when you create it, it doesn't connect. So you have here one cable, and the audio output of the Thor synthesizer goes to the spider audio and splitter here. And afterwards you can now split this audio signal to the delay lines. The first one of the outputs goes to the digital delay line, and yeah, correct. And the second output of the signal goes to the second digital delay line. as you can see here. The next thing is we need to merge these two signals now together again, and this we simply do by linking the output to here to the merger, and also for the second one. As you can see here, this is then in the second slot, and now this is merged again as one signal. Let me just flip the rack, and now let's listen to it. Now it's basic. Nothing has changed yet. What do we do now? Okay, the digital delay line, take care that the unit is in milliseconds and step to 1/16. Dry wet knob at both of them is completely up. So let's look at the second delay line. Please take here something like 17 to 20 milliseconds. This is simply to spread the sound. And we get this widened effect by panning the delays to hard left and hard right. Here it's a little bit to -54, you can experiment. And now I activate it while listening to it. You can already hear the effect, and now let's add the second one. Okay, this is a white sound, isn't it? Okay, already sounds quite nice, I think. And now we look for the second one, for the second instance. So this is what you can see here. All this stuff is for the second one. So let's take a look at the Thor. Now it's on solo, so let's have a listen what this is when we deactivate all the stuff. Let me just quickly, it's already deactivated. So let's have a listen. Boring, I know. Okay, this is a special synth, you know, that adds some texture, some very harsh detuning to the first instance. So here we have an analog oscillator again, also octave to 4, and detune it completely to the left. And then let's have a listen when we activate the second one, which has the same settings, saw wave, blah blah blah, and detuned completely positive. Sounds weird, I know, but you will see that this has a good effect. So this is about it. And now we also need again a spider audio merger and splitter. I know these cables are really annoying when you look at it. So quite simple actually. It looks more complicated than it is. Route the audio output to a spider audio merger and splitter. So you can see it here. The audio output goes to the splitter. And now we split the signal again in order to get a wide sound again. So here, now you take the first audio signal to our first digital delay line, and then the output goes back to the merger here in the first slot. This is the same procedure as in the first instance, and then you take the second signal and put it to another digital delay line, as you can see here, and then the same procedure again. You route the output to the merger, and then we have one signal again, a widened signal. So let's put this widened signal then, you know, this merged signal to the audio input of the line mixer. So now we have two instances. What you have to consider here is that you have here 1 milliseconds, also panning hard left, completely wet, unit and step length. And here the same, only the difference is that you take the delay time of 50 milliseconds and pan it to the hard right. So let's have a listen when I activate it. For me this synth sounds a little bit like film noir or something. Very, I don't know, artificial or something. Okay. So that's it for these two synthesizers. And what is the next step actually? Okay, so the next step is, now it's getting a little complicated. Maybe there is another workaround for this, but let's do it this way. So we will now after the digital delay line, which leads into this mixer, we create a M-class equalizer. You can simply put the equalizer above the mixer, because this is one of the last effects we add to the sound. So then the master output of the line mixer 6.2 goes to the M-class equalizer. After this, you route the output, or you route the output to the from devices of the Combinator. Now let's have a listen when we activate the M-class equalizer. Oh, now also put this knob away so that we have both sounds. You can have a listen. I think this is quite nice, isn't it? So take care that this level is on 65 and this on 34. So let's add the equalizer. As you can hear, this is simply to boost the highs a little bit. Well, what is a little bit? This is already 8.6 dB. However, then you simply activate this parameter, have something like, I don't know what kind of, doesn't matter. Okay, so you put the frequency to 13 kilohertz roundabout, put the gain to 8.6, and the Q is already completely down. Let's have a listen again. Okay, what is now? So we have the audio output now in the from devices, and then we put the output again to a compressor which is in this Combinator patch. So you have to add an M-class compressor. As you can see, wait a moment, when I take this, you can see it routes to the compressor. And when I activate this, one second, sorry. And then when you have the compressor, you route the output to an envelope controlled filter. What is this filter useful for? Well, actually, this is simply, as I showed you in the beginning, to add an introduction of this synth by filtering up the highs. Wait, I have to activate this one so that it sounds like this. Come on! What's going on? Let's do it like this. Oh, I hate it, you know. Because of this maybe. So let's have a listen. Now I know what the problem is. I have to activate it. Me idiot. So this and this. Okay, then let's go back. So now you have created an M-class compressor, routed the output to an envelope controlled filter, and now the output of the envelope controlled filter goes to our mixer, to our general mixer, so that you here have the output. So now let's get back to the compressor at first. As you hear, there is a sidechain effect on it, like this. Okay, sounds better than when I do it like this, you know. Okay, so you activate the M-class compressor, and as a sidechain, you simply take a redrum. If you don't know how to sidechain, well, actually I don't want to show this again. You can check it out in some other of my tutorials, or you simply search for it in YouTube. And then you have the sidechain input, and now here's actually nothing special to talk about. You simply have to check how to do these settings in order to have a nice pumping effect without that it's not that it's too much, you know. Okay, let's now go to the synth filter. What did I do here? Well, I worked with automation, and as I said, this is to introduce the synth at the beginning of the track. And when you created this one, you put the filter mode to LP24, which is to get a very, very steep and aggressive filter sound. And now here's an automation. This is simply, you right click on this filter, edit automation, and then you get here a new track, which is this one. And there you can add automation knobs, automation points to introduce the sound. That's already it. And actually, I think there's nothing more to say. I was talking about all these instances, and now we have an automated filter start, so that's already it. If you have some questions, please write them in the comments. That's it for now, and I will play this one last time for you to get the impression of the final sound. I hope that you liked it. See you next time. Bye bye. Well, what's that again? Oh, nothing. So, bye bye.